Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick and today, guys, we're jumping down into the world of Vechain, taking a look at what's been going on most recently and what we would expect to happen next. As I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And don't forget, join us down in Discord where we cover a lot more and a lot more than we actually cover here on YouTube channel. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there, so why not check it out today? Okay, let's get started, right? So Vechain paired up with USDT on the hourly chart and Binance is the data source. Now, for the most part, we've had a really interesting set of corrections here. So we have this fifth wave coming on down quite massively from this upper end here, okay? And so if I go ahead and just throw a horizontal line just on here, horizontal ray, if I can zoom in, I'm going to have to. Let me just see what's going on. Let me see if I can get that wick for us, guys. So just so we know exactly where that high point came in, it's just there at 3.387, okay, and we've pulled back down pretty significantly, currently trading at 2.364 at the point of recording this video. Now this basically is a five-wave structural drop to the downside, and I'm looking at the recent kind of move down here, and it's a very interesting one, and specifically the five-wave structure in the middle here. So we need to kind of understand what this might mean for Vechain and what that might mean slightly longer term. Now, in terms of our expectations on our fifth wave, we have met that already, and we've actually just come down a little bit lower today, and you know, things are starting to heat up a bit for upward directional moves, right? So looking a little bit bullish, but we'll take a look at the stocks in a second just to get a good idea on that. So let's break this down first. My biggest concern here is that maybe we've had an expanding flat just inside here. So, and this is basically a type of correction within Elliott wave theory where you actually see an expansion over a period of time. This is also something that's commonly known as a megaphone, where basically it kind of fans out into these larger kind of areas. Now, essentially, a expanding flat like this would be a 3-3-5 structure, and it's the only way I can sort of make sense over these five waves right here. These are five waves on their own, would be very incredibly random for us to come down lower than origin down here if it was not in some sort of corrective structure. Okay, so the only way I can make sense of it is under this megaphone shape pattern or this flat corrective structure, which basically does mean that we are potentially still inside wave 4 and our wave 5 of our fifth wave is yet to actually complete. Now, this is something that we've been talking about with Bitcoin as well for a bit. It was very unusual kind of timing and stuff like that. Now, this does make the entire structure look incredibly odd as well, so I'm a little concerned over that, and we haven't really met the expectations of the fifth wave under these parameters either. Now, if I do go ahead and just grab the two extreme levels of this, we could potentially be talking about moving down a little bit towards 2.296 or 2.225. Now, essentially, I don't think that's overly something that we should be looking forward to. I think we're actually looking for reversal. So I think the whole entire structure within this fifth wave and the subwave counting of it is just getting a little bit too diluted. But let's go ahead and take a look at the stochastics here just to see whether or not there's good indication as to what is going on. Right now, you can see this little bit of green here and pulling the stochastic RSI down after reaching kind of a bit of a high point. Okay, so basically, we've gone from oversold to overbought during this little area just here, okay, and now we've started to pull back down towards our oversold area. So the momentum on the hourly chart is quite volatile. It's basically showing us that there's strength in both directions. It's not really giving us a clear directional move. So let's go ahead and jump up into our 4 hourly. Here you can see that we completely oversold after quite consistently setting these red candles to the downside most recently. This gives us a bit of an indication that we might be starting to see a reversal within our structure, but we should obviously compare this with the volume as well, and we are still seeing an increase in volume on this kind of micro scale. So this could be something that we might start seeing a bit more room to the downside before we actually get a reversal. Just keep a close eye on that. And now as we come up into the 4 hourly, you can see that we've still got to come back down. This could be the reason that we actually are able to see on our hourly chart this area between 2.25 or 2.225 and 2.296. That could be the reason that we're seeing that is basically the requirement here to bring down our 8-hour chart a little bit deeper. Now, on our daily chart, we have actually progressed up a little bit, and we will be looking for that move to the upside because that hasn't really changed. If I come back to our hourly here, just remove those stochastics for a second, we are of course still talking about this 5-wave structure move coming on down here, and let's just looking to try to finish off the 5th wave. That's essentially what we're trying to do. And then obviously once that is done, we're going to be moving up into one of two ranges, or specifically, if I actually draw a rectangle in here, between these two dashed lines. These are basically 2.857 and 3.254, and it should be under a 3-wave structure, and I don't think this has started yet. So this is the kind of thing that we're looking for after our 5-wave are completed to the downside. This basically means that Vechain is ready to then have another 5 waves down, but first of all we have to have the kind of 3-wave structural move upwards first, okay? So we can't expect ourselves to move down towards our accumulation zone without first of all having this kind of relief bounce to the upside, which I thought had started, but clearly we just haven't started it yet with this recent price action today. So we are still pulling back a tad, and we are looking for this bounce still. And I do think as we lower our 8-hour stochastic RSI, it's going to be aligning up with our 4-hourly stochastic, and is going to be in a pretty interesting position lined up with our daily. That basically means that we are looking for a pretty significant bounce to the upside on Vechain. And I think it's going to be on the lower end of the spectrum, between the 2.8 5-7 range, somewhere in that kind of lower end of that rectangle there. But for the most part, once done, we'll be then having another 5-wave drop to the downside, in my opinion, where we start to talk about hitting some of those lower ranges that we're expecting. Now, this actually is a really broad one. It comes in at 1.8 or as low as 0.007 all the way down here. So the reason that this is broad is there's so many different ways that this could play out. I've had to kind of scope it out as the kind of bigger range. This could be, for example, a 5-wave 5-3-5-3-5 impulsive structure down, or it could be just a zigzag 5-3-5. So we have quite a broad accumulation point, but we'll know more once we actually start to see that decline once again. But I am thinking that we've got to move up first before we can actually have that kind of move to the downside. So just to kind of summarize, guys, I'm expecting some volatile movements on our hourly chart. You're starting to see a little bit of a push to the upside. I think this is going to pull back down a bit. We are talking maybe if we're unfortunate enough to see 2.225 through to about 2.296, those are going to be the area that we're kind of looking for on this next pullback. Once done, once complete, I think we're going to be moving up again. We are just trying to scope out the bottom of this structure here at this point. Once complete, yeah, up and then down later. So it's going to be pretty volatile over the next few weeks and months, but at least we kind of get a good idea as to where things are going under these structures that we have currently mapped out here for Vechain. Guys, I'm going to leave the video right there. If you found it useful and informative, you know what to do. Hit the like button, and if you're new, subscribe. Don't forget to join us down in Discord as well. Guys, have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you in the next one.